If you will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our gracious Father, we come before you this evening, and we are so grateful just to be able to be here. Such a beautiful, gorgeous day. Lord, our prayers are first of all for this council, that you give them wisdom, insight. But Lord, also take care of them and their family. Make sure that things are going well with them. All these things are things that we just cast before you. Lord, we think about the people that work for this city, our police, our fire, the ambulance drivers, the city workers, the administrators, Lord, all. We just ask that you would be gracious and look after them. Lord, we see so much going on in our world today. People are thinking about, the economy and what they're going to do to make ends meet, and the price of gas. And we had a report on the news of violence in a nearby community. And so these things, they play in our minds. And so, Lord, just help us to just always to trust you and cast our cares upon you. And Lord, we pray for these recognitions tonight. I really didn't know too much about what was going on, but I had a chance to chat for a moment. And Lord, just from the brief chat I had with a family member, I know the city's going to be getting a great employee. And so, Lord, we thank you for that, as we always do. But all these things, Lord, we cast upon you and look to you to take care of them. Lord, I pray and ask what I do in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Crothers. Mike, if you'll take the roll, please.
Councilman Marcos.
Here.
Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlack.
Present.
Councilman Valeris.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally. Here. And Mayor McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack, second by Mr. Lally. Any changes or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of May 24th?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos,
Support.
supported by Mr. Blevins. Any changes or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. And now we come to presentations on the oath of office for Sergeant Steve Segrest and Lieutenant Eron Feltz.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I love these days. Hiring and promoting is awesome. It's what we're about. Two great officers today getting promoted up.
Chris.
Steve Segrest. I had the privilege of being his FTO quite a while ago and seen him. Is it on? Okay, thank you. Steve Segrest, I had to be his primary FTO when he started, and he's far exceeded expectations. Started off being a field training officer himself. He joined the SWAT team 12 years ago. He's currently assistant team leader and a sniper. I think I can say it now. He was doing our undercover units in Drano and MNET and did an incredible job there. One of his last cases in his last month was for a seizure of over $800,000, 36,000 prescription pills, 4 luxury cars, $300,000 in watches, and 9 firearms, which is incredible. He's been awarded a lot of different awards and medals, including a Chiefs coin that I give out for people going above and beyond. And one of the things he was involved in, along with Eron Feltz, was assistant in 2016 with a felony murder suspect, him and Sergeant Feltz. So if he would come up with his fiancée, Brandy, and Sergeant Feltz. Same thing, Eron Feltz started our neighborhood watch program in White Street. Aaron. He's our highest decorated officer with a top one there. He's got a Medal of Honor, Life-Saving Award, Bravery Award, Unit Citation. Both of them have Perfect Detention Awards. He's a graduate of Eastern's Police Staff Command, which Steve is currently in, along with Sergeant Fatilia. Aaron's on the accreditation team. And as well as coming from Detroit and doing a lot of outstanding things there. Also, he also was my scout car partner and back in the late 90s in the 13th precinct. So, Mr. Clerk, if you want to come up.
All right.
Brandy's gonna put on Steve's badge when he's done.
This is like when you got sworn in many years ago, you just have to, at the end, I'm not gonna make you repeat after me, just say, I do, I swear, I affirm. Got it. You did it not too long ago, Sergeant, so. All right. Gentlemen, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of police sergeant and police lieutenant to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. Congratulations. Thanks, sir.
Don't stick me.
Yes, if we could get you to stay just a moment. We'll let the council members make some comments. We've started to institute that because unfortunately, you always escape from us, and then they make nice comments at the end of the meeting and you never get to hear them. So I think tonight I'll start to my left with Mr. Valerius.
First, I just want to express my thanks and gratitude for all you do. You guys are both amazing officers, dedicated your lives to protecting and serving the citizens of Allen Park. Your families deserve a tremendous amount of thanks too, and their support of everything you do. We know the wives and children of police officers is an easy one, and their support for what you do on a daily basis is awesome as well. Just ask you to continue doing what you're doing, stay safe out there, and I, for one, and I'm sure the council and the citizens of Allen Park, thank you for what you do every day.
Thank you. Many of the same things. Thank you so much, and thank you to your families. I had a police officer friend the other day tell me that crime goes up with ice cream sales. So I know that it's it's getting hot out there, and people are out a little bit more. And I just appreciate every day you guys put on the badge and go out and make this a safe community to live, to work, to play in. And I know that this is one of the most challenging times it is to be a police officer, and I very much appreciate your commitment to this profession and to this city. So I'm incredibly thankful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to say the same thing they said and better. Thank you. Thank you for your service, and welcome to Allen Park. I know Allen Park has been growing as far as the police department is concerned. It's coming up a lot better this time than ever before. So welcome aboard and be safe out there. Thank you.
Thanks.
And your family. Thank you very much.
Just want to say thank you to all the things that you've done so far in your career, and I'm sure you're going to continue doing the honorable service that you have done throughout your career, and especially thank you for your family. I certainly rest easy at night knowing that you're on the job doing the best you can do. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Short and sweet. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
The old saying is, if everyone needs a job, anybody could do it. You guys aren't anybody. You guys are special. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Thanks, sir.
All I would do would repeat what my council members have said. We are very happy to have you with us. We are happy that you are remaining with us. We hope that you continue to grow with us and help our department move forward. and become even better than it already is. We are extremely proud of our police and fire departments. I think we have one of the best police departments in the area. I think we have proven over and over again that we are well ahead of many of the curves, and we know how to treat our residents and others. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Michelle, if you want to go around, you guys can go out. Yeah, we did have a barricaded situation in Melvindale today. Our officers and our SWAT team was out there and helped resolve that. So, best sick day I ever took in my life. Got sick out of the blue and called in sick. I was supposed to ride double with Lieutenant Feltz now, and there was a robbery in Taylor, an armed robbery. They shot up in the ceiling, and he ended up finding the car. The guy came up from the back window, fired shots at him. While he chased him, 8 bullets went into the passenger seat. So one of us wouldn't be here right now if I didn't have a sick call. He said it would have been me, but I had seniority on him. When Detroit, he had seniority on me, but he absolutely earned that valor, and he's the only one in our department that has it. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
And now we'll move on to organizational business.
Good evening. Mark looks different tonight. So beginning the week after 4th of July, Savone will begin sectioning on Wick Road. They're currently on Enterprise Drive, replacing a 500-foot section between Oakwood and the Melvindale border. Ailes Asphalt will be out doing repair work next week on Southfield Service Drive in front of Lowe's. They're also starting a small section on Kahona Street, replacing the gravel asphalt. Park Avenue work will begin next week. Hard Rock will, I always want to say Hard Rock Cafe. It's not, it's just Hard Rock.
Hard Rock.
Hard Rock will begin replacing the underground storm pipes, and then the replacement work will begin shortly after that. The electricity and gas have been turned off at the theater property. Demolition is scheduled to begin after the Allen Park Street Fair to ensure adequate parking for the event. The Music in the Streets that was scheduled for tomorrow night has been postponed. The DDA will post alternative dates when those are available. The Allen Park Citizen Civic Fund will be having their annual pizza, wine, and beer tasting fundraiser Thursday, June 16th at the Community Center. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Allen Park Public Library and Parks and Rec Department. Show your support if you're not busy. The mobile recreation program will start June 20th and run through August 4th. It takes place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and will rotate between Sedman Park, Moore Park, Bacabella, and Humpty Dumpty. Parks and Rec also has Lemonade in the Shade beginning next week, June 21st at Community Park. Children's music will be performed by Kevin Devine. The car show is next Wednesday, June 22nd. Come out and see all the classics and enjoy music and refreshments. The event begins at 5:30 and runs until 9 and takes place on Allen Road between Southfield and Roosevelt. Also, if you're looking for something to do, the Concert in the Park takes place June 23rd at Ryle Park. It starts at 7 p.m. and music will be by Trilogy. Safety Town is being held June 20th to the 21st. The program has been around for more than 2 decades, teaching children about various everyday dangerous items that they may encounter. The program is currently led by Officer Basile with volunteer help from the high school students. Summer reading is back at the library. The theme this year is Oceans of Possibilities, and participants will see the return of some of the most beloved programs, including story times, crafts, and family concerts. Oceans of Possibilities will officially kick off on Saturday, June 18th from 10:30 a.m. to noon, and programs will begin Monday, June 20th. The library has also transitioned to their summer hours. They're currently open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and they are still offering curbside service for those who are interested. And then finally, good luck to the Lady Jags tonight on their journey to state championships. I am trying not to pay too much attention because I feel like it's bad juju.
Does anybody, I have a motion to accept and file the
I have a motion.
motion by Mr. Lally,
Second.
second by Mr. Lloyd. Are there any questions?
Was that your fish pun? Or was that Mark's?
It was not. It was actually Brandy's,
Oh.
but I liked it, so I kept it. I'll call it my own, but not really.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We come to the public comment section of tonight's meeting. If anyone wishes to come up and speak, you have 4 minutes. Simply give me your name and the street on which you live. We do not want to have the full address.
My name's Jennifer Kibbe. I'm the director of the Downtown Development Authority. This is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever done, but I'm here to talk about my contract. I understand that council, there's some question as to whether it should be renewed tonight, or that somebody else could do the job that I've been doing the last 10 years better or for less money. I don't want to work where I'm not wanted, that's for sure. But the board, the DDA board, all voted, with the exception of the mayor, to renew my contract. The DDA board are the people that you promoted, that you appointed, the people that you entrusted to run the DDA, and the people that are most familiar with my work. And they all voted to renew my contract. The DDA board recognized that downtown has improved considerably in the last 10 years. We've had a net gain of 57 businesses. The vacancy rate has been reduced from 16% to 9%. COVID did not decimate downtown Allen Park, and we maintained a net positive gain of new businesses throughout the pandemic. And in just the past 5 years, 2.5 of which were a pandemic, the DDA invested $1.1 million to catalyze $50 million in private investment. 78,000 people attended DDA events, and we rehabilitated 26 buildings. I've had positive reviews my entire 10 years here, so I'm confused why there's even a question as to whether my contract should not be renewed. I've heard a council person say that I'm overpaid, but if you look at the MML survey, the same one that I believe has been used to support the proposed salary increases tonight, my salary is very much in line with the state. Allen Park's downtown has the 4th highest taxable income, taxable value of all the DDAs that submitted the 2021 survey. And I have the 4th highest salary. I've also been on the job longer than 64% of the other downtowns there. And I'm not overpaid compared to department heads either, especially considering the raises that are proposed tonight. It's taken me 10 years to get to the current salary, but most city staff have or will soon be at that rate in far fewer years. I have a master's degree in my field, 25 years experience, more than that, I don't want to admit it, and this is my 3rd downtown. Finally, the DDA has the smallest staff of the top 6 DDAs that were on the MML survey and of the entire city, except for human resources. We have an administrative assistant who's ready to start, assuming I'm still employed. But even with her, we will still be the smallest department in the city. But yet, I've brought in over $675,000 in grants and awards, completed the E-Course streetscape, brought in the DDA liquor license program to the city. We've had 2 liquor licenses approved and 2 right now are under process. Completed the Philomene streetscape, initiated 4 new events, including Made in Michigan, Music in the Streets, Touch a Truck, and Drive-In Trivia. And I've grown exponentially the events that I inherited, Farmers Market and Car Show. Fred told me not to bother to even speak, that everybody's mind was made up. But I'm not sure what information you received to make up your mind, and I wanted to make sure that you had all the facts. And the most important fact is that the DDA board voted to renew my contract. They recognize that downtown is better because of my work. They recognize that I'm the director to lead them through the strategic plan that we went over last week. And the DDA board voted to renew my contract. So I hope that you respect the people that you appointed and vote accordingly. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lauren. I live on Rosedale here in Allen Park. I've been a citizen my whole life. My dad retired from the city as a police officer, and my mom is very community oriented. I work with Jennifer for the DDA, and we have done a lot of good things in the past year since I've been with her. And I know a lot of my farmer market people said that they will not come back if she's not reinstated. And Allen Park Farmers Market has grown huge. We have about 35 to 40 vendors now. And we started from, I think, 5 to 10. Three, sorry. Thank you. So, and I know that Allen Parkers love the farmers market. They look forward to it. We have to start early every year. So now we start on April 15th and we go all the way through the end of October. So if we lose that farmers market, we lose a lot of community base, which is Allen Park. Allen Park is very community friendly, family oriented, and we have a lot of shows coming up as well. We have the car show, we have the Made in Michigan Festival, which we have already sent out applications, and we have a good following for that as well. Jennifer is always there when I need her. Whenever I email, she gets right back to me, and I just feel that if we work together, I think you can see what we can accomplish. Thank you for listening.
My name is Fred Frank. I live on Pleasant Avenue. It's been my privilege and honor to serve as the chairperson of the Downtown Development Authority this year and the prior year, and to be on the authority for a few years. In that position, we met with council last week in a joint session to talk about plans in the year ahead. Our board feels it's very important. We're at a very strategic point to what we've adopted our strategic plan for the year ahead. We have decided, after lengthy review and evaluations by the members of the board and a review of those evaluations by all the officers, to vote to approve and continue the contract for our executive director for 1 year. We think it is important this year to move ahead with continuity, and somebody has produced for the district and for the city, the residents and the businesses over the last 10 years. Thank you very much.
How are you?
Good, good.
I want to say thank you to the mayor. She make a lot of good things on the city. I mean, because we got little problems, all city, but you make a good job. Police make a good job.
We have your name?
My name is Serafina Aguirre.
I know we've seen you up here.
You know, the only thing sometimes I saw, we got some neighbors coming from Detroit or somewhere. They think they live in Allen and Detroit. They don't put the trash supposed to be. They put on the street, everything. I mean, I don't know, I can understand because they want to live in Allen Park, or they want to live like they still live in Detroit before. But you make a good job. Everybody keep an eye. You know, all your teams and all the police. I know Jet, the police, Tanya, Mark, Maureen, they make a good job too. That's the only thing I want to say. Thank you very much for your good job that you make. That's the only thing I can say now. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, nice to see everybody.
It's nice to see you as well.
Especially you and you. You as the old people we were here before. Now we got a lot of new people around. What? People coming, you know, more new people. We get old, and the no people replacing. Okay, nice to see you. Okay, okay,
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you, sir.
If there's no further public comments, we will close this section and go on to the consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda, we have purchasing actions with claims and accounts in the payroll report and finance actions with the May 2022 finance overview, budget to actual report, balance sheet, and cash flow. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally,
Support.
supported by Mr. Marcos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, that is carried. Resolution 1 is that our senators support a legislative fix that provides wastewater and water agencies with an exemption from Superfund liability if PFAS chemicals are designated as hazardous substances, and authorize the mayor to sign. May I have a motion, please?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack,
Second.
second by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions? Just so everyone is aware, this has come down from the Downriver Utility Wastewater Authority. The PFAS are those chemicals that are used to create your Teflon pans, which we have now found they start to peel, and they do not disintegrate or go away in any shape, manner, or form, and are major pollutants. From the viewpoint of wastewater treatment facilities, we do not generate these PFAS. They come to us and they get treated and are then sent away. They do not go back into the water source. So lumping us together under the bill that was introduced by Representative Dingell is not fair and will lead to major expenses and also issues with where these wastewater remnants can be disposed of, because many facilities will not accept PFAS. So that's basically, I have prepared letters to Senators Peters and Stabenow, and I'm copying Mrs. Dingell on those letters since she originated the bill in the House. So with your approval, I will transmit those to those offices. Questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, that motion is carried. The second resolution is the authorizing the Michigan Transportation Fund bonds reimbursement. According to the memo, the purpose is to allow the city to reimburse itself for eligible expenditures within the last 60 days that are associated with the MFT road bond improvements with proceeds from the $12 million issuance. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion
Second.
by Mr. Lloyd, seconded by Mr. Lally. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Resolution number 3, to approve the Water Department purchase of a 2022 Caterpillar Model 420 AMPR backhoe from MyCat in the amount of $294.80. And as there is no economic benefit since using the Sourcewell Consortium, we did not bid the process. I think Mr. Murray will explain to us.
Good evening.
Or
This is
we'll probably
going to...
call for a motion first.
Oh, sorry.
May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Support.
Second by Mr. Valerius. Now,
This is to replace a 2000 Caterpillar of the same model, closely related same model. It's been used very, very well. I've personally watched it get rebuilt 4 times in my 20-year career. It's time for it to go away and for us to replace it. Our backhoes are probably one of the most widely used pieces of equipment on a daily basis, probably out of everything other than maybe in an ambulance. So 22 years was a good run. We have another backhoe, it's 2014, but you have to alternate them or it doesn't make fiscal sense. So we're just asking to replace this. That was in our 5-year capital budget 5 years ago.
And this is what we use anytime there's a water main break or
A
something?
lot
like
of
that?
things. Water main breaks, if you have to pull out of a fire hydrant, you need something to lift it, spin it out, many things. Your shut-offs in front of your house, trenching for storm water, many type. It's very utilitarian, I guess you would call it.
They take trade-ins?
Yes, they are. So to give you an update, I gave you the full price that it cost, not with the trade-in, because they are yet to come out and tell us. So this is worst case
Used car
scenario.
market's good right now.
I'm sorry?
Used car market is really good.
Actually, the used backhoe market isn't bad either. So, in all honesty, I just gave you guys for both purchases, the next one too, without any sort of trade-in, because I don't know the trade-in now. So this is the worst case that we did budget for, and it came in with the budget that we did budget for.
So if
This
anything,
is
that
the next
price will go
budget.
down.
Yeah, this price will definitely go down.
Okay.
By how much, I can't tell you today.
Sure.
It cost $133,000?
That's actually pretty cheap, I thought, when I started looking at other pieces of equipment of today's price, yes. We're not purchasing a bunch of buckets or anything like that we normally would, because all of that stuff that we purchased in 2014, we had to double the amount of buckets because this 2000 buckets were getting bad.
Yeah.
So at that time, we purchased double amount, so we do not need to do that this time.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. May I have a motion on resolution number 4, which is to approve the Department of Public Service purchase of a 2022 Elgin Pelican Street sweeper from Bell Equipment in the amount of $238,221.80. We are waiving the city bid process as there is no economic benefits since using My Deal. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally, supported by Mr. Schlack. Hurry.
One question, hold on.
Well,
It's,
want him to tell you
Didn't
what
we
it's
ju-
about?
Huh?
Do you want him to tell you what it's about first?
oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
He might answer your question.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago, we had 4 sweepers in the city. And over our economic difficulties, we went down to 2 due to damages.
Sorry,
And
she didn't finish her saying, she's supposed to say it, right? Don't you supposed to say something?
No.
How much it is and all that?
she
did.
did say that.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
I was gonna ask about that.
So we currently have 2. One of them is currently down, waiting for parts that take approximately 5 to 7 months to receive. We're running one right now. We told Bell Equipment back in January that this was gonna be in the budget year, so they had pre-ordered it to hopefully get it here. It should be here sometime in July, hopefully. When the other one is repaired, we will have 3, back to 3. The third one, typically, we won't run throughout the summer. It's more for when leaves and the heavy debris times, early spring, late fall, that we will run the third one. But there is no economic benefit to us because everyone we tried to shop that third one for said it's worthless. Once they hit about 10 years old, nobody wants them. And I researched it. Lincoln Park also is in the same boat. They have 4 that they've traded in and got about $1,000 for each one. Unfortunately, these machines are very, very expensive, and you get nothing in return after you beat them up for 20 years. So,
What's
just
the
giving you an update on that.
warranty on it? Any warranty on it at all?
3 years like most cars. Yeah, unfortunately for the price we pay, you think you'd get more, but you don't.
A bumper to bumper or what? I'm just saying.
Well, we have to perform our maintenance, or you know how that goes.
Yeah, okay.
Brakes, things like that aren't bumper to bumper. But
Now, the Wolverine vacuum that we bought last year, theoretically, that will help.
that's gonna help offset, and that's what we're hoping to stop beating up on these sweepers so bad in the fall, because they're not really made for leaves like most communities are trying to use them. Most communities are going to that vacuum sucker like we got to take the heavy load off, and then the sweepers can take the lighter load, therefore not damaging the belt systems.
So this should theoretically.
Oh, this will definitely help, yes.
The plan eventually is to get another vacuum, isn't it?
We'll see. We'll see. Let's run it for a couple of years and see how our program goes. I don't think we really want to get into the business of everybody raking their leaves into the street unless you guys want to offer me 8 more employees.
No.
Because that is what it's gonna take. You can buy all the equipment, if you don't have the employees, it's not gonna do you any good.
Right.
Makes sense. I know there was a ton of questions about that all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, can we, no.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the last one.
It's like, no, 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 no. I said it so much that Tyler thought I was yelling at him.
Any further questions or comments on this? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Resolution 5, to renew a 2-year agreement for the towing services at the current rate with City Towing Incorporated. For anybody looking for a cost, it was on page 4 of the contract that was attached. The amounts vary. I believe that we pay the towing company these fees, and then we get reimbursed by the towee. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion
Second.
by Mr. Lloyd,
Second.
second by Mr. Lally. Chief Egan.
Ma'am, yes, I definitely would recommend that we renew the contract with City Towing. Surveyed my officers, our records department. We had a road supervisor meeting, and unanimously, they were very happy with their services. We are part of on a radio frequency with 4 other cities where we hear other tow services, and people are constantly asking, where's the tow company, what's the ETA? I think it's an officer safety issue. Their services are great. As well as that, they go above and beyond on a lot of different things. Mr. Vizzacro was here with one of his drivers, Keith. Some call him Elmo, but they do great work. John Tucker, too. When we moved all of our vehicles from our old impound to our new impound, they did that all for free. They constantly unlock vehicles for seniors and things like that. I know the fire department is very happy with them. They do great work for them, too. So in our current market, our records department did evaluation of what tow fees were and different things among the other cities. We're right in line. Some, I think, I don't want to use the word gouge, but we're very comfortable with the fees we're charging are in line, and Mr. Zach was agreed to keep the services the same. We're going to try and do that for 2 years and then reassess where the market is with fuel and gas and things like that, but he's willing to keep the what he's charging us to do the services where we're at for 2 years. So I definitely recommend we stick with them if we can. There's no economic benefit, in my opinion, to go out for bids.
Right, not when you're getting the current rate for another 2 years. Anyone have any questions?
Through the chair,
Yes.
He brought up bidding, but this is really not something you could bid out, like.
It's like professional services?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but even that, we don't make money off of it, like, so I know a lot of cities try to bid it out, and I've seen the results, and they're almost all identical, but, so just so you know, that's why I didn't say to waive the city bid process.
Right.
After checking, you don't need, you know.
We did it before, Chief Wilkowitz did it for the last contract and extended them then. We did raise our rates in 2017, so that's where we're at now.
If there's no further questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 6, to waive the city bid process, as there is no economic benefit, to bid the asphalt paving of the community parking lot and authorize the city to accept the proposal from Al's Asphalt Paving for $35,702 with funds of $23,000 from accounts 401-000-985-0004 and $12,702 from 101-707-783-00 and another 101 account. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blevins. Second. Second by Mr. Valerius. Any questions? I think this has been in the works for, it's been on the list for a couple of years. And I think the memo pretty well explains it. If anyone has any questions?
So both the road and the parking lot?
We'll be paving the gravel portion of Gahona Avenue just south of the community park entrance under the contract pricing received, and to pave Park Street.
I can help with that question
but-
if you don't mind. The road is getting done through our Act 51 normal sectional program. That's why it's not in front of council, because L's Asphalt is under contract with the city of Allen Park. This is separately, it's by the same company, but this is a separate motion to have approved for Parks and Rec to have their parking lot taken care of.
I just
But
asked.
yes, that area is to be done. They're hoping to be here by late next week and start in some of the ones you heard.
I just get residents asking me when, so I just want to make sure.
Or cross your fingers, we don't get too much rain and we can get them in here next week. I'm trying to get it done, both that sections, before the end of June, our fiscal year, because the money's in this fiscal budget.
Okay, thank you.
And then this will just leave Champagne Park, right?
Nope, I think Real still needs it.
Okay.
Off of O'Connor, Champagne Park. Is that it? That might be it. That's the only two I
Yeah,
think
two
that are
left,
still
and
left to
then-
do. We haven't got any bids on Champagne yet because we know it's very, very expensive and we don't know where that would probably fit in their budget. Real, we do. And so you're aware of this contract price you're doing. I received that a year ago and pricing's gone up. And they said because they do good work with us and we take care of them, they were not adding any more. We might have had to made a change to it, but I got the call yesterday that they're gonna honor that 1 year ago quote for this.
Things were much cheaper a year ago.
Oh, yes. Hopefully that was all the questions.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution 7, to approve the compensation recommendations for administrative appointed staff as listed on the memo. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd,
Second.
second by Mr. Marcos. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
One no vote by Mr. Blevins. Resolution 8, to approve the HR Committee's recommendation that the city administrator's salary be increased to $118,000. Memo reading, after reviewing MML compensation data for all city employees, it was determined that the compensation for our city administrator, Mr. Mark Kibbe, still remains far below that being paid to administrators in comparable cities, including cities with less population and smaller budgets. The committee again took into consideration the scope of his job responsibilities and the fact that his starting salary when he hired in 2015 under RTAB was below competitive wages. Based on the foregoing, the recommendation is that he be increased to $118,000. This represents a 3.96% increase. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution 9, to approve the employment agreement for the DDA Director, Jennifer Kibbe. There was an attached employment agreement including salary. The agreement came to city offices in April. It is effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. The agreement calls for an annual salary of $86,840, which is less than the general 2% that is levied across city salaried personnel. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd,
Second.
second by Mr. Valerius. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No. I think we may have to take a roll call.
Mayor and council, before you, I have a resolution that was supported by Councilman Lloyd, supported by Councilman Valerius.
Can I make a point of order? I don't believe that we had an opportunity to have comments or questions on this
Oh,
resolution.
I'm sorry. You're correct.
Through the mayor.
Yes.
So it's just, it's of my opinion that we have entrusted Mr. Frank to run that committee. I think that he is competent, and incredibly competent, and
has a intimate knowledge of what goes into the responsibilities of this. And if there is issues with how Ms. Kibbe performs her duties as DDA director, that is something that we should, I know that those issues have been communicated to Mr. Frank and by the mayor and through the DDA commission, but that we should defer to his judgment as a competent individual that runs that commission. That's my opinion.
I went over the executive summary somewhat, and when I read the first page where they stated, they talked about the economic development in the city and how much Allen Park was pretty much a wash as far as plus or minus, where we should compare ourselves to Southgate and Dearborn, we're at plus 50%. And it's, you know, I've been to some of the meetings, and it seems like it's just pulling teeth to get things done. Everything gets put off. We're doing studies, we're doing this, and we're not getting things answered, not questions answered, and things are getting put off here, next time. Departments are being ignored, they're not being worked with correctly, I believe. Just my opinion.
I want to voice my opinion on this issue. I know Ms. Kibbe spoke today about how he had the support of the directors that said that, but since that time of review, there's been 3 new commission participants, which I'm not sure if they've had a say in that process. And I do feel that there is some discontent that has happened between the city and the DDA that's been largely not forthcoming nor positive on behalf of the city.
Any other comments? I simply state that I made the same vote at the Board of Directors. I know that Chairman Frank, who I have a great deal of confidence in, knows why I voted the way I did, and I remain with that vote. Roll call.
All right. We have a motion by Councilman Lloyd, supported by Councilman Valerius, and the employment agreement for DDA director. Do you approve, Councilman Blevins?
No.
Pro Tem Lally?
I approve.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Councilman Marcos?
No.
Mayor McLeod?
No.
Councilman Schlack?
No.
And Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
The noes have it. The motion fails.
Resolution 10, to approve the salary of the building director, Matt Baker. The compensation recommendation is made based on the new programs he has initiated, new technology that has been introduced, and reviewing comparative data. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Valerius. Second by Mr. Marcos. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No by Mr. Blevins. Resolution 11, to approve the salary of Deputy Parks and Recreation Director Rob Fulton to $65,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally.
Support.
Supported by Mr. Valeri.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'll do it.
Mr. Marcos. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution 12, to approve the salary of DPS Director Tom Murray to $91,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution 13, to approve the salary of the Assistant Library Director, Brandy Swinart, to $43,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos,
Second.
second by Mr. Lally. Questions or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution 14, to approve the salary of the Finance Director, Amanda Wirtz, to $94,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Support.
Supported by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution 15, to approve the salary of the Human Resources Director, Tanya Whitehead, to $79,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Second.
Second by Mr. Marcos. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution 16, to approve the salary of Executive Assistant Deborah Zettel to $47,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Resolution to approve placing a charter amendment to change the elected position of the city treasurer to an appointed position on the November 8th, 2022 election ballot.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second. Go ahead.
Supported by Mr. Schlack. Who would like to comment on this?
So this was something that came out of Legal Affairs. This originated with a conversation that I had with the treasurer, Maureen Armstrong. Ms. Armstrong is not planning on running for re-election in this upcoming term. She's actually happens to be my neighbor, and this is a conversation that happened over shoveling. And it led to a conversation about what the future holds for that particular position. She expressed some concern at that time that she didn't know who would run for that position, and had a bit of anxiety about that. And that kind of led to conversations with the mayor, with Mr. Covier, with the Legal Affairs about the changing role of the treasurer in the city of Allen Park. When we were first chartered in the 1950s, that position was more or less served the role that we now have as our finance director. We were an incredibly small municipality at that point, and that all of the jobs and responsibilities. It's my cue, huh?
4 minutes.
The jobs and responsibilities of that position could be done more or less by a non-professional. Now, obviously, to the point that we have grown, we have a full-time finance director, and many of the responsibilities that are currently done by the treasurer can be folded into the responsibilities of the finance director. Some of those responsibilities, like the handling of the payments at the front window, have already come under the supervision of the finance director, which was previously one of the biggest responsibilities of the treasurer. So that process has already kind of begun. I know that for some there is a bit of heartburn or anxiety about removing an elected official and turning it into an appointed one. My answer to that is that the citizens of Allen Park elect this council and mayor to supervise the government of the city of Allen Park, including the finances. So each week we approve the financials of the city. Each year we approve the budget. We provide the necessary oversight, and so I think that this is a more efficient way of structuring our city government while still providing the democratic oversight that is necessary in a city such as ourselves.
Thank you, Dan. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
The only comment I will make is that I also sit on that committee of legal affairs, and we talked about this extensively. And one of the many things that came out when discussing these rules was a survey conducted by the Michigan Municipal League. And out of this survey, we went over line item by line item with Maureen, and she acknowledged what she has done and has not done, or currently does. And it does seem to fit the role of a finance director or roll that into there. So that is another additional reason. It's not like we're getting rid of elected officials just to get rid of elected official or not to find anyone. We just feel this is the more responsible choice for the future of our city.
Thank you, Gary. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Mr. Blevins. Now we move on to other business, one of the favorite things we do. The first and second reading of proposed ordinance number 03/2022 and ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Marcos. Discussion or questions?
So, Mayor, if I could, this is an issue that some citizens may or may not be aware of. And for some of you that, you know, whether you're walking your dog or out riding the street, you might see those small silver cartridges discarded on the side of the road or in parking lots. Unfortunately, those are things that are used to go into like pellet guns or other things like that. But for a long time now are things that are abused by certain individuals in order to get high. It's essentially, nitrous oxide is essentially what you get at a dentist, laughing gas. It's something that is certainly being abused, and the way that it is being sold for the purpose purportedly of being for pellet guns or other things like that, but more and more it is being marketed like with flavors for people to you know, kind of like wink and nod for people to abuse these things. So this is an attempt again to try to bring this under control, keep our citizens safe, particularly our young people, and make sure that they do not have easy access to a drug that could you know, lead them down a bad path.
I have a question. I just saw this for the first time, and I agree with everything you said. I didn't know, is this available for retail sale?
Yep.
It's a cake decoration.
Cake decoration.
Really?
Or
They
you could
use
go
it
to-
for cake decoration
You go to Dunham's and buy a case of them.
Really?
also. Yeah.
They're also sold at liquor stores and other.
Yeah.
Maybe
Through
I've got in
the
the 60s.
chair, you're talking about the little whippets,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, you do realize that like gas stations, they sell containers this big. I just discovered that. So does your ordinance encompass, because I know traditionally a whippet was a little CO2 looking cartridge, but there's tanks of it out there now, guys.
Yeah,
Like $50 the guy.
I don't think the wording has anything to do with.
And
Yeah,
it was all flavored, it was all,
Yeah.
that's what caught my eye, I'm like, wow, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and Joe, you can, Mr. Covier, if you could correct us if we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we don't have any sort of language about the size or quantity or
Ounces.
anything like that. It's just limiting the yeah,
Sale to minors.
yeah, the sale to minors.
But it was also, it started out, it is used for cake decorations, which we know that we all run to the gas station to get that.
Yeah, right.
Particular item when we're decorating our cake.
That piping is very important.
Yeah. Just in addition, this is something that the the SUDS Coalition, which is affiliated with the Guidance Center. It's the Stop Underage Drinking and Drug Abuse. They have been pushing for this. A number of cities around us have already adopted similar ordinances. And you know, I'm pretty sure that Mike's probably run across these, the park across from him and various other things. So, yeah.
And you see them all over the place. I mean, I live 2 houses down from a bar, and the parking lot's littered with them on bar nights. So,
Well, and through the chair, that's the scary thing. That's because I have in college seen people use it by inhaling it through a balloon, and they close their eyes and like almost like go into a seizure. And it's like when I see them in the road, I think of that guy I watched, and I'm like, is somebody driving like that? Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing after a few beers, but you go into like, so I'm sorry, it's not.
To the chair, is this ordinance for sale just to minors or to everybody, period?
Just minors.
Just minors.
Selling.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Yeah, we can't limit the sale of something that you can otherwise legally obtain. We can legalize the,
Clear it.
yeah.
If there's no further questions, we will have Joe do the first and second reading.
Do we have a roll call vote?
I think it's after he,
Okay.
no, the roll.
Okay.
For
no,
the
it's
adoption.
It's at the,
we vote to authorize the first reading?
oh, yes, we vote. I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Now we have the first and second. Thank you, Charles.
All right, first reading of proposed ordinance 03-2022. An ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 26, offenses by the addition of Division 4, nitrous oxide to Article 6, offenses against public morals, to regulate the sale, distribution, and possession and use of certain chemical agents and devices known as nitrous oxide, and commonly called whippets. Second reading of proposed ordinance 03-2022, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 26, offenses by the addition of Division 4, nitrous oxide to Article 6, offenses against public morals, to regulate the sale and distribution, possession, and use of certain chemical agents and devices known as nitrous oxide and commonly called whippets. Thank you.
And now that brings us to council comments. And this evening, Mr. Blevins gets to lead off.
Good evening. First off, I want to say my thoughts and prayers are to Mr. Kibbe and his family for tonight. I want to say great job to all the teachers that yesterday they retired and all stuff for all their years of service. I know a few of them I actually had growing up, so I want to say good job to all our teachers. Also, I want to say fantastic job to our VFW American Legion putting out the Memorial Day ceremony that happened, and I want to give a shout out to Kyle from Parks and Rec. I saw him putting up the chairs so that our veterans can sit down, and those are the types of things when people say, I care about our veterans, those things make a difference. So I do applaud to Kyle. I know he had a helper, and I know Mr. Valerius helped him as well. And but good job to Kyle from Parks and Rec. Also, to our honor guard, fantastic job as well at the Memorial Day ceremony. I went to the Cabrini Fair. They did a great job, as always. Can't wait for all the next events coming up in Allen Park. I I probably ate more there than I should have from that food tent, but, you know, happy birthday to Mrs. Lolly. She wouldn't let me leave from the Italian booth until I had something, so happy birthday to her. All I'm gonna say about how I vote is, looking at history, usually when it comes to raises, I don't approve it. I always think certain people should get more than what was put down, so the percentages is pretty much why I didn't agree with. So, but everyone does a fantastic job in the city. I just want to say that as well. I appreciate the comments I received, just random residents that come or message me, social media, or email me. It does mean a lot, doing this for 3 years now, and those little things that keep up the good work and stuff like that from council, it does mean the amount of time we put in for this position and stuff. Again, just thank you to the residents. And then lastly, you know, being Pride Month, you know, I couldn't not say anything about it, but happy Pride to everyone that celebrates it. Bow tie colors for the L for LGBTQ for lesbians group, their pride flag. And then usually every year I change it up, but and then this wonderful pen, one of the residents gave it to me as well, so thanks to them. But I know I'm not as much motion tonight and stuff, but I just want to say thank you for everyone and what they do every day, and God bless, and I yield.
Thank you, Charles. Mr. Marcos.
I want to thank everybody who came tonight. Appreciate it very much. My message as usual, please come to our meetings. I want to give a special thank you to Councilman Matt Valerius. We follow the Allen Parker pages, you know, see the people complaining, and those are the people that I really want to come to these meetings, because what they're missing is the information they need, so they wouldn't be complaining. But Matt took it upon himself to go out and clean up one of the islands with the entranceway to Allen Park, you know, and it's if people would come to our meetings here, or at least watch them on YouTube or on the website, listen to them, you'd get a lot more information. You really know more about what's going on. You wouldn't have to complain as much and see the position that we're all in. So again, message: please come to our meetings, please, please, and thank you all who do come.
Thank you, Dennis. Tony.
First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my wife, Maria.
Oh, you're going to catch it now.
I was going to miss tonight, but I decided to come. She told me, you better go. Okay. I want to thank all the police officers and firemen in this beautiful city. I think everything is very improving so much, it's unbelievable. We're doing a good job. All the people that work here do a good job. I kind of agree with Charlie Blevins. Not all of them deserve that raise, but they got it. But they do good work, so God bless them all. I hope you guys do better work next year. I'm sure you will. And I want to thank the Lord for me to be here. And I want to thank the honor guards for the Memorial Day thing. That was very nice celebration. Charlie was there, Gary was there, Matthew, and I got to say thank you for him. I don't know what he did, but thank you.
But thank you.
But I imagine he does pretty good on the bushes, so you can come over to my house and do mine. Other than that, everybody have a good time, good year, and good night. Thank you.
So I'll start off by saying happy birthday to Maria, and then also happy birthday to my mother, who is also an Allen Park resident. Shares a birthday with her. It's her birthday today as well. She is a wonderful woman and a very dedicated citizen. I'm not on the Allen Parker, but she's sure to let me know when people are complaining about something, so that's really handy for me. It's very useful. I just want to say a moment of appreciation for my fellow council members. It's kind of crazy. Time flies. That we're coming up to the end of our term here. But oftentimes we agree, and occasionally we don't, and that's okay. Like, and that's okay. What do you mean? I was scanning. A very, very wise individual once told me, reasonable minds can differ. He happens to be sitting up here with us. And I think that is the heart of good government, is when people come up here, they say what they believe, they vote what their conscience is, and we ultimately come to a decision. I think that what is not in dispute is that we all want what is best for the city of Allen Park. Every single one of us. And I think that is something that's important to remember. And we're going to disagree, but we can do it without being disagreeing. And so to all of you, especially my paisan here, I'm very, very appreciative of all of you, and I'm very fortunate to have such a wonderful group of individuals to be able to serve with. So thank you, and good night.
All right, so the whole deal with the bed, okay, the flower bed. It was posted. I actually cleaned the wrong one. I mean, the one that the guy took a picture of is actually down by Pinecrest. I'll get to that one. But 2 reasons that I did what I did was, number one, I saw it. It did look bad. Tomorrow's my last day of my teaching job. I work a summer job where all I do is landscaping and cut grass. So this was like a spring training to get me back in that mindset and leave the teaching part behind. And in reality, from the time I got out there to the time I was done, it was probably 30 solid minutes of work. Okay, everyone knows how much I love the heat and the temperatures and the high temps and the summer and the sun. It's, imagine that it's sweating and dealing with weeds and everything else. It's just a beautiful thing. So the point being is that, as Dennis said, the people that are on complaining and everything else about why isn't this getting done, if it would have been 2 people, it would have been 15 minutes of time. If it would have been 3 people, it would have been 10 or 5 minutes of time. So it doesn't take a lot. And it was no big deal for me to do it. And like I said, my plan is, if I have time tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to go down and do the one where the guy put the picture out and make sure that you could see the Allen Park logo the way it's supposed to be displayed. All it is pulling weeds. So again, it's the little things. Just like when I take my dog for a walk and I take an extra few bags to not only to pick up the stuff that he leaves in the yard, but the other stuff I see on my walk. It's what I do. It's what I'll continue to do. It's what I'll continue to do long after I leave council. It's what I've done in the past. It's what I do. So, I appreciate the accolades. I appreciate the thanks, but it's just part of, I saw it. Had I not, driving by it, I saw it. It wasn't that big of a time commitment to get it to look halfway decent. It still doesn't look great, but it looks better than what it did before. So, thanks to all the department heads for everything that you do for the city. Your jobs sometimes go unnoticed as well, and I know you're the brunt of a lot of people's complaints as well, who pretty much may not understand everything that's involved in the stuff that you guys do on a daily basis. So I thank you for that. And like Dan said, I appreciate the right to discuss and get into discussions about things that we have questions about and may not agree on, because all we do is learn from each other when we have those discussions. So, and I thank you for your time, and I yield.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I know we've been here a while, but try to be brief, but sometimes that's not easy. I've always been one to have a more prepared statement rather than ad-lib on my teacher colleagues over there. It's blow me out of the water every time. But I want to thank all who attended. Definitely give thoughts and prayers to Mr. Kibbe and his family this time. Definitely happy birthday to Mrs. Lloyd and Mrs. Lally for their birthday wishes today, and special congratulations once again to Sergeant Segrest and Lieutenant Feltz. And I wanted to briefly touch about our vote today on compensation and reviews and whatnot. This vote, for many of us, at least me, was not the easiest vote, but I saw and observed and really took in and did a lot of research and felt what was best for my conscience and for the city. I think everyone up here is doing what's best for their city and their judgment and their opinions that they form, and I firmly believe that. And I think sometimes change is for the better. May not always work out, but that's at least the intention by voting your conscience, a yes or no vote. I also want to wish my colleagues Tony, Michael, Dennis, Matthew, all the fathers of Allen Park, and Joe Withdanen, a very happy Father's Day this Sunday. Got to remember reading the mic. I know I've been told, speak in the mic, so I do apologize about that, but a happy Father's Day. And before we meet again, Juneteenth, our newest holiday, a holiday that I recognized last year locally, will pass. Juneteenth has never been a celebration of victory or acceptance of the way things are. It's a celebration of progress. It's an affirmation that despite the most painful parts of our history, change is possible. There's that word again, change. And there is still so much work to do. President Barack Obama. When we last met, an event that has since taken our breath away was a fresh news story. The said event, of course, I'm referring to, is the mass shooting at Uvalde, Texas, where 19 elementary school students and 2 teachers were killed. It's the reason I wear this orange tie today. It's definitely not my color, if you will, but I wear it to honor their memory, and the many people that have senselessly died of gun violence before that. And sadly, will probably happen again in the future. I'm not going to sit here and go on and on about how these are hurtful. We know these mass shootings are hurtful. But we as a nation must do something. We can't just say prayers and mental health and issues. We have to answer and talk about things and work things out. But we need to address mental health. We need background checks. We need waiting periods. We need red flag laws. You know, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a weapon is defined as something used to injure, defeat, or destroy. Again, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a weapon is defined as something used to injure, defeat, or destroy. You know, weapons are something I know a good deal about. As a veteran of the United States Army, I was trained on quite a few of them. I served in the infantry, so I learned quite a few more than the average person in the military. We need to restrict ownership of certain types of weapons. I know the full power of these type of weapons. I know AR does not stand for automatic rifle like many people would say or you see on internet memes. And I'm not against the Second Amendment. I believe in the ownership of firearms. But I also know that we're now out in the streets fighting a flintlock rifle that can hit barely from here to our door. A lot has changed since our Constitution and our amendments, Bill of Rights, were found. You know, and I think in this case, the burden is placed on these certain type of weapons. And if it doesn't work, that these weapons are banned, then we can change it back. That's the power of our country. If it doesn't work, we could change it. We can change it again. These are reasonable and practical solutions. Enough is enough already. How many of our own children have to die? Does it have to happen in Allen Park before we do something? Does it have to happen right next door? Do we see enough bloodshed and tears shed by families and victims? Enough. Let's respect one another. Let's respect the police and the job they do when they protect us. I yield, Mayor.
Thank you, Gary. As we could see from our agenda, today is Flag
Mayor?
Day.
I'm sorry.
I
I know, but
You're
I
on my
never
sheet.
have anything to say.
But you're on my sheet.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna bring us back down here at Allen Park. Those of us that have lived here our whole lives, we've watched people come and go, we've watched them pass. I think one Allen Park family that has touched so many people, and the patriarch of that family just passed, Mr. Fred Varan. I believe he was 94 years old. I went to school with his kids, but ironically, Mark Kibbe's mom is laid out there. So a lot of people pass, and we can all bring up people, but I'd really like to point out a longtime citizen and a very generous business owner to us, and that's Fred Varan. And then on a separate note, we're getting a lot of calls about the absentee ballot applications. They are late going out. Because of redistricting and the way Allen Park's broken up, now we have 2 county commissioner seats and 2 state senate seats. When they were entering our information in Lansing, some of it got wrong, so we couldn't actually print our applications until all this data was correct. So they are at the printers, they are getting printed, and the applications will be out sometime next week. Ballots aren't even ready yet. However, if you are in emergency for right now and you do need a ballot, they will be ready on June 23rd. But if you're on our permanent list and you usually get the application, just wait. If you're antsy, you could go to the internet, download the application off the State of Michigan website, bring it in, and that'll work the same way. And no, if you bring that other app, we won't give you another ballot. So, again, we're going to get them out as soon as we can. I apologize, but it was out of our control. So, with that, thank everybody for coming out tonight. God bless you and good night.
Thank you, Mike. Getting back to Flag Day, which today is June 14th, and was June 14th of 1777. That the flag with the 13 stripes and stars was officially recognized. Interestingly enough, on June 14th of 1775 was the birth of the U.S. Army. I also wish congratulations again from myself and City Council to all of the seniors who are graduating this year, and mention the Allen Park varsity softball team who won and will be going to the States. Wonderful. Thank you for that news. Father's Day, yes. Well, they were playing at 4:30 at Wayne State, so. Sunday is Father's Day, and I want to say thank you and recognize everyone who is a father, everyone who's a stepfather, everyone who has fostered, or anyone who has played a role in a young person's life where they assumed the responsibility and the care and the loving that a father gives. And that includes coaches and teachers among you, because I think for many individuals, probably more than we realize, they need a father figure. They need a mother figure. And so we can all fill those roles in some regard. Speaking of cleaning up, the Beautification Commission has regular cleanup days scheduled, and the next one is Tuesday, December 21st. It's December 21st has a big significance for us. Yeah. Yeah. June 21st, next Tuesday, 6 p.m. They are meeting in the lot across from the Presbyterian Church. They ask that if you come to bring gloves. They have grabbers to pick things up. They will specify an area to be covered in approximately a 2-hour period of time. I've participated in both of them so far, and they're a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of great people and collect a lot of debris. There was one other thing that just flitted through my mind. Well, a couple of things. I was commenting to somebody today that I think it was an omen. On Sunday, I had a text from Richard Syke, Pam's husband, to tell me that he had found her pass card. and I thought that she would have liked to have been here tonight. The other thought that crossed my mind is something that I had planned on posting. I think maybe what got me thinking about it is people talking about those who complain. But, you know, we've gone through a lot of discussions here. We can get very passionate about things. But by and large, we leave here, we're smiling. We know we get along with one another. We know that as we can discuss things and not always agree. But it's occurred to me a little thing like a smile. And what made me think about that is a few days ago, I happened to be going out the side door here, going to my car. And there was a mother with a little boy, probably T-ball age, right? He's wearing his baseball cap and his little uniform. He's got a backpack on. And I must have had a smile on my face because he looked at me kind of tentatively, and then he smiled and he raised his hand and he waved. And I waved back. And that made my day. So if you're having a bad day, smile.
Yeah.
Thank you. And because you never know what impact it will have. And that little boy obviously is going to stick with me for a while. So with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lally, second by Mr. Lloyd. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:27. Thank you all very much.